Hey there everybody, Johnny T here, and today I'm going to replace the battery in this Movado Vizio model 84.36.1831. This is what I would call, it's not quite as minimalist as the Movado Museum collection watches usually are, with the concave indus at the 12 o'clock. And then the rest, they call it a sterile dial or however you want to pronounce that. This one's got a bit more bells and whistles than your standard Movado. It is a three-hander. As you can see, the second hand is not moving, and it actually stopped keeping time at 12 o'clock, so I guess it didn't have enough energy to even turn the date over. But as we can see, it does have a date indicator. It is color matched. The wheel's color matched with the dial. It's all black. It's very small. This is a very very small watch. Like here's my fingertip. Just to put that into perspective, if I grab a quarter, this watch is much smaller than a quarter, so you probably wouldn't even notice that you're wearing it should you choose to wear it. But yeah, so we've got some numerals at the 12, 6, and 9. Otherwise, we just kind of have these arrow-looking indices for the in-between hours, and we have some indices towards the center that'll give us each second or minute in between. That's pretty much all there is to say. There's no lume on this watch. This is a dress watch, I would argue. The links are very, very cool. I don't really know how I would describe these, but I find them to be pretty interesting watch links. They have some movement, about 180 degrees, I would say, something like that. Maybe I'm doing that wrong. The crown itself is kind of a star pattern. It really reminds me of the Mont Blanc kind of symbol. It looks similar in my mind anyways. So the way I'm going to take this back off, I'm going to actually get these screws out on the sides here on the lug. But it's a dual deploy. We do have Movado. There is a M there with a circle. And then we also have Movado stamped here on the bracelet. And I believe the other end of this, yeah, it says stainless steel. So anyways, I'm going to get this off my cushion because I don't want to puncture my cushion. But the way I usually do this is I get a couple screwdrivers. This one is a 1.8 millimeter. They have to be very sharp in order to fit into the screw slots. So that's the biggest problem. This one's probably similar, 1.8 millimeter, maybe 1.4. And what I usually do in order to open up these is try to get one screw in like this, and then I come in on the other side. And if they're not super tight, which these aren't, I could usually just unscrew them like so. And we could usually pop the other screw out. We could actually bring this back. So we've got a little screw here on one end. Whoop. And then the other end is more of a shaft. And you could just pop it out using your tweezers like so. And then that'll protrude out. And we now disconnected the bracelet. You want to double check and make sure there's no collars or anything before you continue on, because I've lost a lot of collars doing this, so just a fair warning. And then I usually just like to put the screw back in to the shaft here so I don't lose it. and then I'll put that aside. Little barbell there. And now we have the watch. So the case back on this is says what it says, 84361A31. It's got a serial number. Water resistant. Doesn't say the ratings. Probably like, I don't know, 30 meters, something like that. Sapphire crystal. Movado Swiss made. We want to hit it from over here. That's where you take the case back off. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to use my Bergeon 7403. This is the one with the Swiss Army blade on the other end. And for this, I'm gonna just kind of come in, and then I'm gonna put some leverage going this direction, I think. That did not work. How about the other way? Well, I'm gonna use the razor blade method on this, I think. So I'm gonna grab my razor blade, and then I'm gonna set the blade in like so. Be very careful to not cut yourself. This is actually super sketch. How am I gonna do this? Like that. Cool. Okay. So now I can come in. We can see that there's quite the lift on there. So we can now come in with our tool and just finish the job. Wow, that's really on there. Alright, just like that. Make sure we didn't damage our gasket. This doesn't have a... Oh yeah, it does. Okay. So here's what we're working with. This battery doesn't seem like it's the correct size to me. So it's usually Movado likes to label their movements. This one says Movado 7 joules. And then the actual movement information might be down here towards the battery. That can't be the right battery size. I'm going to assume this is not correct. Let's get my loop out. I might have to get a more powerful loop than this to take a look, but let's see. It is I have no idea. Looks like it's a 956112. So the I don't know if my camera's gonna pick it up, but the model is actually right there underneath that crystal. I think it's 956112, something like that. But yeah, so we got the battery. Okay, so the case back actually tells me what battery this uses. That's nice. And oop, this is so small. There is a gasket. I'll probably grease that, I think. So I'm just going to try and remove it somehow. There we go. Yeah, seems like it's in okay condition. Looks like it's actually been greased recently, but I'm gonna clean it up and grease it myself. I didn't. Oh, I guess. Well, yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna get my gasket grease out over here. Okay, anyways, so the battery, the inside of the movement, the case back, says it uses a 377 right there, so that's nice. What was I using in this? I'm pretty sure I replaced the battery in this. What was it? Yeah, that was a 377. All right, cool. Easy enough. Let's get a new battery in there. Be sure and use plastic tweezers when you install a battery, as we do not. We don't want to short anything. Should just kind of plop in there, I'd imagine. Well, it might take some finagling. Let's see. There we go. Oop, just kidding. Why did I do that? Alright, there we go. Okay. And we are ticking. Cool. Okay. Very good. So now I'm just going to place my gasket and my greaser. And I'm going to push down on this gasket a little just to kind of get some grease on there. Flip it over, do the same. That should be good enough, I would think. Flip it over, maybe do it one more time, and we're good. This is so small. And I'm getting grease everywhere. Guess I'm gonna do this off camera. Sorry, everybody. Very good. So now we have our gasket back on. So there is a notch here. That's where the crown goes. It's pretty obvious, right? Something like that. And now we have to press it down. Probably going to want to use the smallest plastic discs that I've got for this one, I would think. Thinking 14 millimeter. That's actually too small, isn't it? Well, what else do I have? Got some other ones here. Okay, so we do have an 18 millimeter, which is much better. And then probably get away with 20 millimeter for the bezel. Yes. Cool. Okay. We know the drill. So we want to install our... Sorry, it's a 16. Did we go with 16 here? No, we do want 18. 18 millimeter on this. And then we just want to stick it in here, like so. And then the 20 millimeter we stick down here, like so. gonna realign the case back because it looks a little off. There we go. Just slide this in, come down. Now I could have cleaned this watch up a bit more. It did have some dirt and stuff on it, but I'm just gonna not worry about that. And it just, you heard it click there. That's the case back going back on. And we now have the case back on, and it's aligned enough, well enough. It's not perfect, but yep. So there we go, and it's ticking away. Beautiful. So now we just want to reinstall our barbell. Don't lose our screw. Sometimes one of these ends is wider than the other to accommodate the screw head, but these both look pretty identical. Yeah, I don't think it matters. So I'm just gonna reinstall it. Start by putting the bar in. Just push it through like so. Grab my screw head. Oop. Place that in. Sorry, everybody. I need to keep this all level. It keeps falling off because I'm tilting my hand. Okay, and I gotta move my camera up a bit because I'm gonna hit it otherwise. Get it started. Oh, you know what? That's kind of going on pretty tight, actually. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'm gonna do the other side just to kind of make sure it's tight. Yeah, that seems good. And ta-da! We're done. I could have cleaned it up a bit more, but I'm kind of on a time crunch at the moment, unfortunately. And there we go. So I've timed this watch before. It runs well. So I'm not too worried about setting the date or time or anything like that. So let's get dimensions and then call it a video. Oh, and these watches go for about 150-ish on eBay. If they have all the links and are in better condition, obviously they could go for a little more, but 24 millimeter. So this is just such a small watch. I mean, it's the size of like a nickel maybe in diameter. 24 millimeter case size, 7 millimeters thick. Lug to lug is 31 millimeters. What are we missing? Lug width. Well, I guess if you wanted to replace the bracelet, it's 6 millimeters. Otherwise, the bracelet thickness is about 14 millimeters. So there you go. Right on. Well, thanks so much for watching. If I helped you fix your Movado woman's watch, definitely like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Otherwise, yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.